So what if prayer wasn't just some religious duty? What if it was a lifeline, a direct path to a connection that's deeper, more real, more intimate than anything else? Today, we're going to look at prayer not as something we have to do, but as a journey that can completely transform us. Let's get into it. Okay, just imagine for a second that you're walking with Jesus. You're seeing him heal people who've been sick for years. You watch him calm a raging storm with a word, and you hear him speak with this incredible authority. You've got a front row seat. Out of everything you could possibly ask him to teach you, what would be the one thing you'd want to know? Well, his disciples had that exact choice.
And that was it. That was their one question. Not, hey, teach us how to do miracles or teach us how to be great speakers. They figured out, they realized that the real source of his power, his peace, that unshakable clarity he had, it wasn't coming from the big public stuff. It was coming from his private connection to the Father. They didn't want the symptoms of power. They wanted the source.
And that one single-minded focus on prayer, it's so revealing, isn't it? The disciples knew that everything else, all the incredible things they saw, flowed from this one well. And that's exactly why learning to pray is so essential for us too. It's about tapping into that very same source of strength and guidance.
Now, here's the thing you've got to get. Nobody just stumbles into a powerful prayer life. It doesn't happen by accident. Just like any other meaningful skill in life, it's something you develop on purpose. It's a practice that gets deeper and richer over time as we learn to surrender our own agendas and just focus on building that relationship.
So where do we start? Well, Jesus gives us the perfect starting point. The very first two words he teaches completely reframe the entire conversation because it all hinges on knowing who exactly you're talking to.
And this, right here, requires a huge shift in our perspective. See, you're not walking into a courtroom, talking to some angry judge hoping you can get your case dismissed. You're not sending a petition to a far-off distant king. You are talking to your Father, one who already knows what you need and who loves you completely. Realizing that one simple truth, it changes everything about how you pray.
You know, this brings us to one of the biggest misunderstandings about prayer. A lot of us think the whole point is to convince God to see things our way, to get him to do what we want. But the real power of prayer is what it does to us. It's designed to align our hearts, our desires, and our whole perspective with a reality that's so much bigger than our own.
This one line is basically a declaration of surrender. Your kingdom come, your will be done. It's us finally saying, you know what? I want what you want. I want my little corner of the world to start looking more like your perfect world. It's literally an invitation for heaven to break into our everyday reality.
So what does this alignment actually feel like in real life? Well, for starters, it begins to break down our own stubbornness, our resistance to God's plan. It starts to melt away all that fear that comes from trying to control everything ourselves. It cuts through the fog of confusion and brings real clarity, and it makes our spirit more sensitive, more tuned in to his guidance. And look, this whole alignment thing isn't just for some big, abstract, spiritual questions. It's intensely practical. Prayer is designed to meet us right in the middle of our daily grind, our needs, and our struggles. When we pray for our daily bread, we're not just talking about a loaf of sourdough. We're asking for the strength for this day, the wisdom for the meeting we have in an hour, the patience for our kids today. It's such a powerful weapon against anxiety because it teaches us to trust God for what we need right now, instead of stressing out about all of tomorrow's unknowns. And there's a protective side to it too. When we pray, deliver us from evil, we are engaging a very real, active spiritual defense. It's like putting up a shield that guards our minds from negative thoughts, protects our hearts from temptation, and helps order our steps away from harm. Prayer isn't passive at all. It's a shield. So, when you put it all together, the alignment, the daily provision, the protection, it all leads to one incredible destination: intimacy. The consistent practice of prayer is truly transformative, right down to your core. It's a process that guarantees you won't be the same person you were when you started. And this reshaping is just profound. Prayer takes those hard, cynical parts of us and makes them soft again. It takes our pride and slowly replaces it with humility. It finds the places where we are weakest and infuses them with a strength that isn't our own. And it awakens those spiritual parts of our soul that may have been sleeping for a long, long time. So what is this intimacy that we're talking about? What does it actually look like?
Well, it's the point where the conversation is no longer just a monologue. It's where you start to actually recognize His voice in your own thoughts. You start to feel those gentle nudges in your spirit, and you learn to trust His guidance even when it doesn't make logical sense. That's a real relationship.
And so we end right back where we started. The disciples saw that the absolute core of Jesus' life, the source of everything, was His intimacy with the Father, and they wanted that for themselves. So the question for us to really think about is this: what could that kind of closeness, that kind of connection, truly change for you?
I will pray. I will pray every night and every day. When I rise and when I fall, praying is never too much, never too small. Never too much, never too